Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. We are from Group 8 and we decided to play That's Not My Neighbor game to support the acquisition of English as a second language. It is a horror themed game where you play as a doorman whose job is to separate the real residents from doppelgangers, which are creatures that can physically imitate the appearance and behavior of real residents who are trying to infiltrate an apartment complex. Examining people's documents and physical appearances is the main gameplay mechanic used to identify and prevent these imposters. Players need to meticulously examine IDs, residency permits, and compare the residents' appearance to their documents and spot any subtle differences in facial features, clothing, or accessories. Errors that result in tension and anticipation, such as letting a doppelganger in or mistakenly blocking a real resident, can have a big impact on the player's score. You receive a performance review at the end of each workday that includes information about how many doppelgangers you were able to catch and any errors you made. The game offers a distinctive and frightening experience by emphasizing attention to detail and quick decision making under pressure. There are occasional jump scares when a doppelganger is discovered or an error is made, heightening the tension. The feeling of paranoia and distrust builds as players must always question whether someone is who they claim to be, which is a good thing as generations these days love horror. Communication is conducted in English, allowing players to ask questions and gather clues. The game can be played with two people, enabling them to discuss how to identify the imposters and the real residents via online forum or any social medias. Now let's take a look on how the game is played.
Hey, the milkman. I haven't seen this guy in a while. You're not on the list. Francis Moses. My apartment is on floor 3, room 2. Lives by himself. Long nose, thin chin. The nose, guys. The nose. That almost got me. That's a pretty good doppelganger or clone. I bet if I call your apartment, you'll be home. 4122. Let's see. Hey, yeah, look. Told you. I'll send you the DDD. I just happened to be looking at the nose. I would have missed that. Next. Wow, we haven't gotten anybody on the list yet. Hey, whoa. Alright. She's got the frog eyes. What's up with your eyes, Natasha? My eyes? I'm sick. Sick with what? It's obviously a doppelganger, but I'm gonna call 1346. Is your daughter home? Is not home. Oh man, is she back? Did she leave with frog eyes, Nasha? Alright. No way she's Natasha. What do we get, like 4 doppelgangers in a row, guys? What was that?
In this activity, we identify two theories, which is Creation input hypothesis theory and connectivism. First, creation input hypothesis theory posits that language learners acquire language most effectively when they are exposed to input that is just slightly beyond their certain proficiency level, also known as I+1. In the game That's Not My Neighbor, this principle is implemented through various features that provided comprehensible input. For example, the game offers a wealth of dialogues, character description, and clues, all contextually supported by visual and gameplay mechanisms. This means that The players can understand the language used within the game because it is ensured to visual and contextual cues even if the language is slightly more advanced than their certain level. Additionally, interaction within the game are scaffolded. Players often engage with more proficient English speaker who helps them grasp new language structure and vocabulary. For instance, a less proficient player might encounter a clue that might read, the suspect was seen near the dust. While they might not fully understand the word dust, more experienced player can explain that it means sunset, thereby providing the necessary scaffolding. This interaction helps the learner to understand and integrate a new vocabulary into their language use, aligning with Krashen's theory that such comprehensible input is crucial for language acquisition. Next, connectivism. Connectivism is a learning theory that emphasizes the role of social and technological network can be effectively applied to ESL, English as Second Language, acquisition through the online game That's Not My Neighbor. In this multiplayer game, a player must identify a doppelganger in a virtual neighborhood by asking questions and gathering clues, using English as the medium of communication. The game fosters network collaboration through social interaction, where players communicate via text or voice chat to ask questions, share information, and collaborate on identifying the doppelganger. Community engagement extends beyond the game as players join forums or social media groups dedicated to the game, discussing strategies and sharing experiences, thereby practicing various forms of English. Knowledge is distributed through in-game resources like character profiles and clues, as well as external resources such as tutorial videos and blog posts, enhancing reading comprehension and vocabulary. Learning through interaction is a core component, as players collaborate to formulate questions, share findings and build case, thereby improving their speaking and listening skills in engaging contexts. The immediate feedback provided by the game reinforces successful language use as effective communication leads to a better performance. Self-organization is evident as players set personal goals such as mastering specific vocabulary or asking clear questions and navigate their learning path independently, adapting their language use as the game progresses. Emergent knowledge arises from both collaboration and competition, as players learn from each other's strategies and develop innovative ways to communicate effectively. For example, during a session of That's Not My Neighbor, the students use English to ask questions like, "Where were you during the incident?" and discuss their findings to build a case. Then, they engage in online forums to share tips and practice language skills further. The benefit of this connectivist approach includes increased engagement, contextual learning, peer learning, and real-time feedback, making language acquisition both effective and enjoyable. However, challenges such as potential distraction from the game entertainment focus, the informal quality of language use, and access to technology must be considered. By integrating connectivists into ESL acquisition through this game, learners build and traverse network of knowledge, enhancing their English communication skills in practical, real-world scenario.
Now, let's jump into what will students acquire from this activity. First, critical thinking skill, language skills, and problem-solving skills. Critical thinking. Playing the game That's Not My Neighbor enrich students' general knowledge and sharpens their critical thinking skills. The game challenges players to deduce the imposter, among them using logic and reasoning to uncover the truth. It requires keen observation to identify subtle signs and distinctive traits that distinguish the imposter. Students develop the ability to critically assess evidence and discern between authentic and deceptive information used by imposters. Analytical skills are essential as they gather, synthesize, and construct narratives that align with the evidence to reach conclusions. Decision-making in uncertain situations is pivotal, prompting students to weigh the advantages and disadvantages of accusing others or defending themselves. Reflecting on gameplay experiences enhances metacognition by allowing students to review their thoughts, processes, strategies, and potential errors in decision making. Strategic thinking is honed as students devise effective game strategies. These combined skills cultivate competent critical thinker capable of navigating various challenges both in gaming scenarios and real-life situations. Next, problem-solving skills. It has found that the game That's Not My Neighbor can greatly help into enhancing students' problem-solving skills due to its gameplay. It gives player a first-hand experience of situations that require tracking of fake members based on their actions and what is going on around them, meaning it encourages players in targeting to find solutions. Students are able to adopt the clue-searching approach and collect as much information as necessary to reveal subterfuge in the group. The same process helps them to analyze the results and draw their conclusions based on the information that can be assessed by them. One component is problem-solving under conditions of risk and ambiguity, such as when launching an accusation against someone else or providing self-exculpation. Cognization of game-playing experiences improves metacognition by providing feedback on students' playing tactics and strategies, which may be useful while preparing for next rounds of the game. It is refined that problem-solving skills are specifically being used, especially where students develop and adapt strategies in order to win specific games efficiently, encouraging innovation in their solving methodologies. Particularly through playing That's Not My Neighbor, learners acquire enhanced readiness in responding to problems, fine-tune their reasoning in challenging and forceful knowledge battles. Then, students will acquire language skills. This game can significantly enhance students' acquisition of the English language through various interactive methods. The game promotes vocabulary expansion as players encounter and use descriptive language such as adjectives and adverbs to differentiate between characters or players. Moreover, engaging in the game requires students to understand and interpret description and clues, thereby improving their contextual understanding of language usage. Constructing sentences and responses during gameplay reinforces grammar and syntax rules, which verbal interactions enhance listening and speaking skills. Reading game rules, character descriptions, and other textual information contributes to strengthening reading comprehension. Additionally, players analyze how language is employed to convey information, make distinctions, and persuade others, fostering critical analysis of language use. Cultural references or nuances embedded in the game also provide opportunities for students to learn about cultural context through language. Overall, That's Not My Neighbor serves as a dynamic platform for students to enhance their English language skills and to engage their manner.
Now, we'll move on to the potential problems that may be faced and how to potentially solve them. Firstly, the students may be unfamiliar with the game genre and its gameplay. Some might see the game as too scary and complicated to play. The teacher can help by giving them a brief introduction of the game and its characteristics, as well as stream a little bit of the gameplay before they start. Since the students are divided into a group of 3 in the platform, they can discuss about the features of the characters they've encountered as they proceed further. They may also have difficulty identifying the doppelgangers due to the abstract nature of the game. Thus, the students are allowed to discuss their thoughts and reasonings on what they think of the character on screen with their group mates to reach a consensus and make a decision. The teacher can further help them by providing clues or hints to guide the students. Language proficiency difference may potentially become an issue as well. As the students may have different levels of English proficiency, it may lead to misunderstandings and frustrations, as well as having a few students being reluctant to participate because they are self-conscious on their proficiency. To resolve this, the teacher can pair up the more proficient students with the less proficient ones to help each other out and acquire new words and skills as they play the game. Technical issues should also be taken into account before proceeding with the activity. The teacher has to make sure the online platform they are using works as intended and ensure the students' devices are working properly.
As for inappropriate ads pop-ups, the teacher can inform the students to install an ad blocker software to prevent unwanted ads from being displayed and avoid disruptions. In conclusion, this digital education transformation requires collaboration, patience, and determination to ensure every student has full access to quality education. I believe we can take education to a higher level. Let's create an inspiring and sustainable educational future together. That is all from us. Thank you.